So let's start on our bellies this morning. And as you come on to your bellies, come into crocodile so you can take one hand over the other. And rest your forehead on your hands. Reach one leg up and then release it. Reach the other leg up, spiral it in and release. Lift your torso, lengthen it forward and release. Just take a few moments here and let your belly release into ground. Let the contents release into ground. Notice if it's hard for you to release the belly into ground. With every breath that you take, see if you can soften and let go. When you feel the ground supporting you, you can melt and release and let go. And if there's any anxieties or worries, uncertainties, fears, just imagine right now that it's just all pouring out from the space between the hips. And it's just like a whirlpool, just being gently drawn very lovingly into the good ground. On your next inhalation, see if you can push the ground away with your belly. And then take a nice cleansing exhale, open mouth. And feel the navel pull to the backbone and away from the ground. Let your hips roll a little bit here, side to side. And gently raise the head up off the hands and transition into Sphinx pose this morning. And so keep reaching out through your legs, press the toenails down, and you can just hang your head right now. Allow the heart to stay lifted. The pubis is anchored, reaching out through the legs. Press the legs gently down into ground, and maybe starting to look slightly ahead in your Sphinx. See if you can be aware of the inner dialogue, the feelings, the emotions, the sensations that are arising. And whatever is arising, see if you can hold it in a space of love. We tend so very quickly to judge our experience, to analyze, to condemn. And this practice is actually a very, very gentle and very loving practice. All is welcome here. There's a little bit of space. Go ahead and walk your hands in a little bit more. And I want you to just turn your cheek and look over your shoulder. And then turn your cheek and look over the other shoulder. Good. Come back, and as you come back, release all the way down. Lengthen out through both legs. Set your hands up for your favorite cobra pose. It doesn't have to look like anybody else's, and since you're practicing alone, feel into what would be right for you, especially because we're just starting class. What kind of cobra feels most nourishing for you? And this morning, mine feels right with the hands pretty much off the mat, so I'm real wide and broad across the collarbones. But that doesn't mean yours has to be like that. So what's beautiful is we start to listen and let the body guide us. Okay? Release all the way down. Lengthen out through your legs again. Walk your hands back. Press the feet down into ground. Raise the head and the chest up. Long, deep breaths. So we're coming into a little baby cobra. Keep pressing your toenails down into ground. And lift lift the chest up a little bit more and feel those spinal extensors tightening all along the spine. And release. Put a little bit of pressure here. Take your right hand behind your head. And then inhale and lift everything up. How's your breath right now? Squeeze the inner thighs towards one another and point your toes. And this is not about height as much as it is about just strengthening the back muscles. Release. Switch your hand position. Inhale, rising up. Engage inner thighs, elbow goes wide. And release. Walk both hands back. And then raise everything up. And see how that feels in your body this morning, and make the small little adjustments so that this feels nourishing, especially since this is where we're starting. So it might not look and feel like it might after an hour of practice. Good. And let it go. Take your hands underneath your shoulders and gently push up and back all the way into child's pose. And as you come into child's pose, let the hips sink towards the heels. Walk your hands forward, yet keep the elbows off the ground. Let the forehead reach towards the ground. Tuck your chin, spread your fingers. How is your breathing right now? And how is your ability to stay present? And how is your ability to be informed by what you're feeling in your body right now, instead of just analyzing what you're feeling? Okay. Walk forwards onto hands and knees, and as you come onto hands and knees, spread your fingers and take a few rounds of cat to cow. Everything mindful, feeling into everything that is rising this morning. And as you come back to neutral, curl your toes and sweep really big, beautiful circles here. Come up over your wrist and sit back towards the curled toes. Let your hips sweep side to side, lovingly taking care of our bodies this morning. Other way around. And be very attuned to the mind. So as I'm teaching, I can I'm watching my own mind and the own self grab that is coming up this morning. I can feel I'm much more sensitive this morning. And I know for me that happens around the full moon. And so I need to take everything that is arising with a grain of salt, right? I don't need to just immediately buy into it. And the more awareness we have, the better, because we don't immediately fuse with what's arising. Okay, come back to the center, untuck your toes, and I want you to come into puppy pose. So keep your hips over your knees, bow forward. So we want to cultivate this witnessing consciousness that can observe the patterns and then also observe when the pattern is shifting. We cultivate this by just committing over and over and over to being mindful, to being as present as possible, to staying with what is. Okay, walk yourself out. And as you walk yourself out, curl the toes under and exhale, push all the way up into downward facing dog. Notice if you're always waiting for the next thing. See if you can today land in practice and be where you are. So holding it here, shift your hips up high, fold from the hip joint, tone the low belly. Gently sit all the way back into Vajrasana pose. Press the hands at the heart center. So when we press the hands, this is universal prayer pose, Anjali Mudra. Actually balances the left and right hemispheres of the brain. So elbows are wide, heart is lifted. Begin a gentle breath of fire. So breath of fire very quickly can adjust us from the inside out so that we have a stronger anchor, more presence, and all of this becomes our protection, and also that allows the projection. Okay, so keep that breath going. Inhale. Suspend the breath, squeeze root lock. Exhale, let it go. Float the arms down and land your left arm down and reach the right arm over for a crescent. And feel this opening through the right side body. Press through the right hip. Enjoy it. Long, deep breaths. And then float out. So both arms go wide. Reach, reach, reach. And then other side. You exhale. Sink into the left hip. Open left shoulder back and hold it here. Good. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, twist, easy twist to your left. Squeeze your inner thighs. Stay here, ground to grow on your next breath in, and then exhale, look over your shoulder towards the back wall, stretching neck. Good. Inhale, arms go wide like wings, stretch out through fingertips. Exhale, twist to the other side. Nice and slow, mindful, thoughtful. Deep breath in, ground to grow. Exhale, look over shoulder. Good. And then inhale, arms can go wide again like wings. And then exhale, interlace your hands and bow all the way forward as you rinse your shoulders out. And then on your next breath in, puff the chest and really ground to grow. Open the heart center as you release the arms down. Great. And then come back to the center. Roll your shoulders out. Up, back, and around. Other way around. And then several times here, spinal flex, seated cat-cow. Open the heart center. Back and forth you go. And then inhale, roll the shoulders up, back and down. Double exhale, open mouth. Inhale, widen your arms. Exhale, cross and hold it here. Drop your back towards the back wall and pull yourself forward as you tuck your chin. Inhale, ground to grow. Reach the head through and hold. Heart stays lifted. Exhale, float the arms down. Interlace them, bow forward. Inhale, open the chest. Look up, reach up. Good. Exhale, reach arms all the way wide. Deep breath in. And then switch your grip and melt. Inhale, bring the head through, root to rise. Holding it here. Good. And then from here, exhale, float it down. Cross the ankles into easy seat and then walk yourself down. And as you do this, keep the sternum lifted and go ahead and reach the right arm up high, and you can just circle from the shoulder joint. Other way around. And then gently release this arm down and bring the other arm up. Big stretch, please. And circle. Other direction. And let it go. Walk yourself up, switch the cross. Ground to grow. Exhale, bow. Keep observing what's there, what insecurities, what worries, what fears. And just let yourself hold it really lovingly instead of being hard on yourself, but also don't over-identify with it. I cannot tell you how many years I just spent suffering by over-identifying with my own thought process. And when I really started to look into the nature of my mind and the thoughts that I were thinking, like 99% of them were not helpful or true. Reach the left arm up. Release. Reach the right arm up. So that's the beauty of the full moon. It brings everything to surface for us to get a better look. And then release. Walk it back up and then take a few rounds of seated cat-cow here. And then inhale. Suspend the breath. Exhale fully. And just notice right now where you're at. See if there's more spaciousness that's starting to open up, and see if some of the chaos has started to settle for those of you that were coming in scattered and ungrounded. And remember, if you forget everything else, if you can just make your breathing slower and deeper, quieter and more regular, that's what we strive for. Take your feet and interlace the hands here and just hold it here for a moment. Just keep attuning to the field of sensation. Keep being aware of what's arising. From here, send your left hand through, grab a hold of the right ankle, and then draw left leg over. I'm going to give you two variations. Variation one is more simple. If this is too challenging, straighten the bottom leg. You're going to get the same benefit, okay? So you could be here, or if you can take it a little deeper, go ahead and let the legs stack. And then hold it here for a moment, kind of shimmy back and forth until you feel like you're anchored through sitting bones. Ankles press the ground. Take the arms out wide. And then take Garudasana arms. We're going to wrap. And keep pressing ankles down. Heart is lifted. Press the elbows forward. And gently raise the arms up. Look up towards your fingertips. And then release the elbows down a little bit. Tip your arms to the left. Tip the arms to the right. Just a touch. It doesn't have to be much. Come back to the center. Open and bow forward enough to start feeling the intensity in the hips. Doesn't have to be a ton. And then maybe we bow a little bit more forward. Keep walking the arms a little bit more forward. You could be doing the same practice with the bottom leg straightened. And let's take it to the point that feels most nourishing, with challenge, without forgetfulness. We stay deeply attuned to the felt sensations of the body. Okay, rise back up. And as you rise back up, swim your left arm up your back and then drop your right fingertips down the back. Maybe they touch, maybe they don't. This does not yogafy you at all. I would say my definition of if yoga is working is how far wide does your compassion extend? Does it extend only to those that have meaning to you? Or does your compassion right now extend people that's viewpoints are very different than yours? Yeah. Release. Understanding that how could we all have the same viewpoints in the ways that we've all been, grown up, educated, and conditioned differently. Bow forward. I think our growth of our practice could be measured in tolerance and patience towards self and other. Reach the arms up. Exhale, twist to your left. Our ability to see a wider view. Can you take somebody else's perspective? Can we move from a me to more of a we consciousness? Good. Inhale, grow the arms. Exhale, press the left hip into ground and take the crescent, honoring the moon. And then come back through the center. Press the right hip down, honor the moon, crescent. Good. Interlace the hands behind the back, bow forward. Inhale, lift the heart center up, 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 and release. Roll the shoulders. If you find yourself overwhelmed or triggery or agitated or irritable around the full moon, I want to encourage you to do left nostril breathing. Send both legs forward. Shake them out a little bit. Draw the legs in. And release the hands. Sit nice and tall. So this time we're going to take the right hand, pull the bottom leg through, and the left leg over. So one choice would be to straighten the bottom leg, or you could sit as I am currently sitting. Or if there's space, you can take it and cross it all the way over. Notice how I'm kind of shimmying side to side and getting myself set up cozy. You can anchor hands into ankles and hold it here for a moment. How's that feel? Do the legs stay there? Can you press through the ankles, scoop the arms out wide, and then take your opposite arm under for Garudasana arm. Pull elbows forward. Look up and gently reach up through the arms. Good, and then lower the arms gently and tip them to one side. And tip them to the other side. Come back to the center and then exhale, gently bow. And if there's space, keep widening the arms and keep making your way forward. Keep tucking the chin, keeping the back of the neck long. Slow by slow, walk yourself up and swim your right arm up your back like a fish, and then swim the left fingertips down, holding it here. And the fingers may or may not touch. That's not the point. What the point is to observe what arises in each posture. So noticing what's arising while you're in a posture. Is there self-grab? Is there self-confidence? Is there judgment? Is there acceptance? So being really attuned to what is arising. If you do it here on your mat, I promise you'll start to do it off your mat. And then when you're ready, float the arms down. Let's anchor the left arm and then scoop the right arm up and over. How is your breathing? Never compromise the breath to go deeper into posture. Please remember that. It's all about balance. And then we'll reach the arms out wide, lean into it. Press the left hip down as you come into this beautiful shape. And your shape will be unique to you. It'll look different than mine. You want to feel into what is right for your body. Good. And gently float up. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Take the hands behind the back and exhale, bow forward. Inhaling, rising up and gently, lovingly twisting to the right. How's that feel right now? Any small adjustments you might make? How's your jaw? How's the quality of your breathing? Inhale, arms go wide. Exhale to the other side. Taking the sounds of the birds, cars driving by, sound of your own breath. Good, and then gently release. Okay, switch again. Take the legs forward, root to rise. Look up, reach up, exhale, bow. Inhale to halfway lift, puff the chest. Exhale, bow. Inhale, ground to grow. Exhale, coming back to center. Cross the ankles. Take Sukhasana or your variation of a seated posture that feels good. Circle. Other way. And as you come back to stillness this time, take your right hand and inhale through the left nostril. And now clip both. Open the right side, exhale. Inhale, right side. Clip. Open the left side, exhale. Inhale, left side. Clip. Open the right side, exhale. Inhale the right side. Clip. Open the left side, exhale. Release the hand, inhale both nostrils. Exhale, open mouth. Inhale, open mouth. Close the mouth, exhale, nostrils. Inhale both nostrils. Exhale, open mouth. Inhale, open mouth. Exhale, nostrils. Notice how you feel. Returning to natural breathing. Become aware of the space around the body. Become aware of the space inside the body. Become aware of the space outside the body. Becoming aware of the space inside the body. Notice it's the same space. And as you come onto your backs, pull the knees in, hug them in lovingly, melt your lower back into ground. How does that feel right now? How about an AHA exhale? With the hands on the knees, circle the knees. Other way around. Come back to the center. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release it all back. Widen your feet and windshield wipe side to side. Back and forth. Nice and easy. And then as you come back to the center, raise the hips and interlace your hands underneath your back, Engage your inner thighs, send your thigh bones towards your knees, open heart center. Thighs to knees, hips to heart, jaw is soft. And then lovingly letting go, draw the knees in and let them lower over to the right. And maybe even take your heart wings wide with the hands behind the head. If that doesn't feel good, just let them float out all the way wide. And then float the legs over to the opposite side. Coming back to the center, stretch your legs out wide like off the mat. Let your hands fall wide. Take a AHA exhale. And then on your next exhale, blubber your lips. And just let it all go. If you need to shimmy a little bit side to side to get really cozy, go ahead and do so. All is welcome here. All is welcome. So whatever arises, we say yes to. And nothing to do. Nothing to attain. Nothing to grasp. Just letting go. Very carefully breathe in just a little deeper, awakening the body. It's staying deeply connected to the felt sense. You can even start to wiggle your toes and your fingers. You might even enjoy reaching your arms above your head and pointing your toes. And then very slowly, as you're ready, starting that process of transitioning back, but stay with what you have cultivated. Let's meet in an upright, seated posture with our palms together. Any benefits that we receive from practice be always shared generously with all sentient beings. Peace to all, light to all, love to all. Namaste.